failure to tithe, it shows very clearly you don't want blessings over the rest that remains. It is better to have 90 blessed than 100 cursed. I say again, it's better to have only 90 and it's blessed than have 100 that is not blessed, it's cursed. Can I answer these questions and then I close? There are questions people ask on tithing. Very quickly, allow me to say, people ask, do I tithe on net or the gross? Is it all what I get? Or maybe if I'm deducted this, NHIF and whatever, NSSF, I tithe on what remains. No, you don't tithe on the net. You tithe on everything that comes to your account. Before the government deducts, before health organization deducts, before other systems deduct, you deduct for God. Priority number one is tithe, 10%, tithing on the gross. Another question people ask, do I tithe on a loan? I have taken a loan and I want to start a business. Do I tithe on it? I say no. You don't tithe on the loan if the loan has to do with business. You put that loan into your business and then you start tithing on the income. But if the loan is a consumer loan, it is not a business loan, it is not an investment loan, my friend, that loan should be tithed on. Another thing on that, I want to be very clear here. If you take a loan and you want to put it in business, now that I've said you don't tithe on it, there are other avenues of giving. Many people have done it. You may take out of the loan a section called a seed. You may give a seed. This time you are believing God for your business to thrive. Then you can do something on the loan. But I hope you get it clear. But you can tithe on a capital, which is not a loan. You have a capital, maybe it's a donation you are given. You have been given a donation. For example, you want to begin a business where you have $100 and you want to start a small business there. You need to know $10 pay tithe, because it's not a debt you pay later. That's what I mean. Another question people ask, will God understand when I delay my tithing? If at all there is an issue or something that causes you to delay, remember, according to the Bible, a delayed tithe demanded a tax. They were adding something on top of it. And the best way to solve it, don't delay your tithing. It's very important you understand that. Another question people ask, does God understand when I don't tithe because of shortage of finances? Does God understand when I don't tithe because of shortage of finances? I say capital N-O. No, he does not understand. Why? Because tithing is not an amount. Tithing is not an amount. Tithing is a percentage. Even if you have only $1, 10% of it is what is needed. So for the rich and the poor, mentally as people think, everybody is supposed to tithe. God does not understand. I know you are asking me, hey, I get only 200 shillings and I have to buy food and all this. Yes, 20 shillings does not belong to you. If you eat that, you are robbing God. Tithing is not an amount. it is a percentage. And the last one people ask, and I want to answer, why don't preachers and churches today use tithe to feed the poor and the hungry? I know that question has been moving about in this time of COVID-19. Why don't preachers use that money of tithe? And we know it used to happen in the Bible. Can I give you the correct information? That 10% is not what was used by the people of the Bible. There used to be, and go to Deuteronomy chapter number 14, there used to be 3 types of tithing. If that is what you want to know. Deuteronomy 14 verse 22 to 29, you discover the 3 types of tithing that used to happen. One, it is that 10% which was going to the Levites, the priests, to the house of God. This can be done daily, weekly, monthly, exactly according to the way you receive your income and according to your agreement with God. That is tithe number 1. The other number 2 they had, the number 2 tithe they used to have, it was 10% again, that was set apart. And it was set apart because every year they used to gather in the presence of the Lord next to the temple. They used to gather with their families, everybody, and they used to feast. They used to eat. So they used to give 10%, another tithe, and they were set apart waiting for that annual feast where they could go and eat together. If you came from far from the temple area, this is what they used to do. You sell what you are bringing to party. You sell, get money, then you come to this place where there will be the party and you buy the items you want from the nearby market, and then they would sit together with their families. So you can imagine they had that extra tithe for feasting, for party, and in the presence of the Lord. I think that's a wonderful thing that should be done. I know churches today, they have such arrangement where they have the annual parties, like here, Jesus New Life Ministries. This month of July, it is our month of celebrations, anniversaries, the second Sunday of the month. People do that. That was tithe number 2. The last one they had was 10% again, set aside, and they used to keep it all through until 3 years. At the end of the 3rd year, they would hand over, and this was distributed to the poor, to the strangers, to the needy people. 10%, the 3rd one. So when you talk of pastors and preachers today, they are not using tithe to feed the hungry. I want to tell you, you are wrong. That was a different thing altogether. Yet, I know servants of God, they don't feast on the tithe wholly. People may have denied them because they could be little and limited, and they are still using the same to stretch their hands to touch other lives. So you can imagine the people of the Bible, and I guess that's also what we need to do. They had 30% given out, 10% to the Levites, 10% for their parties, and 10% for the poor. Visit the YouTube. If you have not subscribed yet, subscribe, and let's continue widening the circle so that we may teach many other people. God bless you. Shalom.